Hey, Dr. Henkel here, just getting on to share week 7 with y'all. So it's October 10th through October 16th is week 7, and we're going to learn a lot about qualitative research this week. And y'all have done really well with the previous week's assignments. I've um, gotten up to date with all of that. And there's only a few of you that have a few missing assignments. So just keep working on those. Most of you have contacted me to tell me if something happened, and I really appreciate that. So just if something comes up in life, just let me know. I understand. Uh, and I want to just be helpful in any way I can. If you have any questions regarding any of the material, please know that I'm here. And if I don't get back to your response whenever you message me right here with the bubble, just text me. And one of you had to do that this week. So thank you so much for doing that. Just know sometimes I might not get to check that as often as I should. So texting though is always a quick and easy way to get a hold of me, or call and leave a message if I don't answer. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started after we open up with a word of prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for um, this week, Lord. And we just want to say that we love you and we praise you and just thank you so much for being our comfort and our guide. And I just pray that you would be with my students this week as they are learning qualitative data, that you would help them to focus on their assignments, Lord, to be able to learn what you would have them to learn, to ultimately give you glory in return. And we thank you so much for that opportunity, and we find it a privilege. And we love you and praise your name, Jesus. Amen. Okie dokie. So, qualitative data collection and analysis is what we're going to go over this week for week 7. So, at the top, here are the videos, those will be hidden. So, here's your learning objectives for the 2 chapters. You're going to go over chapter 7 and chapter 8 this week. So, one of them just kind of teaches you about qualitative data, and then the next chapter, chapter 8, goes over how you analyze that data. So there's a lot of information, but I don't think it's too much information that's complicated to learn. It's just an abundance. Okay. So just make sure you prioritize your time this week to be able to go over those materials and to read through those chapters while you take notes. And there's a lot of resources right here that you are going to need. There is, let me see, 2 videos. This one's from the grad coach, I believe, and then this one is over analyzing the qualitative data. So watch those 2 extra videos. You're going to need to download and save all of these PDFs. And here's an interview. Okay, let me make sure that opens. Okay, so I'll go in and figure that one out for you. Okay, so you have 2 Quizlets just to go over your vocabulary for each chapter. And so your first assignment is your form. Y'all are pretty familiar with those. Then you have your qualitative study analysis assignment, 7.2. So you're going to read the study titled Teachers' Instructional Choices with Student Created Digital Documentaries, Case Studies under the resources. So find that, read that, and after you've read it, you're going to answer these questions, and then you are going to get graded right here. This is how you're going to get graded based upon that. So the first question is, what type of study is conducted by the authors of this article? So just read these questions before you read the article, and that way you can be thinking about that as you're reading it. And then you're going to type up the answers, and as long as you have all of the answers there, you'll get full credit for that. So just look there for how it's going to be graded. Next is a little bit more complicated assignment. So let me open that. 7.3, qualitative data collection. So you're going to learn about qualitative data and how to collect it. So one of your you're going to learn to code it. So you're going to be given a document, And you're going to open that up and you're going to read the top part of it, and it's going to explain that you're going to analyze and code the data below. And I'll show you that just in a second. But one of the things, the first thing you're going to do is step one is you're going to segment the data. Okay. So one of the sentences in there, it says the teacher must have a complete understanding of the mathematics content. So the bold text in that sentence is an example of a segment. So you're just basically pulling out the main idea out of that sentence, and that's called a segment. Okay. Then once you've segmented your sentences. So you've interviewed somebody and you have transcribed the data, which we've already done it for you for this assignment. Then you take that transcription and you have to do something with it. Okay. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to give me any type of analysis of what you've learned. Okay. And this is all about qualitative data. So, research studies. So right here, that's your segment. Then step two is you're going to label each segment with a descriptive name. Okay. And for that subject, okay, those are going to be called topics. So first you have a segment, then you have a topic. So you're going to get into a smaller label. Okay. And then once you've given it a topic, then step three is you're going to group any similar topics together, and you're going to create a new label, and that's going to give it a category name. So there's basically essentially three tiers that you're doing here to analyze the data. And all you're doing is narrowing it down to smaller content information so that you can get an idea of what it is that you're learning and gaining from this information. So, for example, um, if you created a category in for that sentence for complete, the teacher must have a complete understanding of mathematics content. If you gave it a category of content knowledge at the top, okay, that's what you decided to give it a name as content knowledge. Then what you would do, your segment would be complete understanding of the mathematics content. Okay, so your topic would be understanding math. Um, so that's kind of what I want you to do. So let me show you. This will be more clear once I show you the information that you're going to do this with. I believe it's this one. Okay, so here's the researcher. He's recently done a research on a computer-based algebra program to learn more about how teachers were actually using the program. Okay, and so you're going to read through this, and it's going to give you more information about what the researcher was doing. And then here are the answer to the question. So we posed the question, based on your experiences this year, what skills do you feel are needed to use the algebra computer program effectively in your classroom? And so then here is one answer, okay? What you would do is you would open up another Word document and you would pull out these sentences. So the teacher must have a complete understanding of mathematics content. Okay. So what you could do is you could pull out, and you're going to start categorizing this, just like we discussed. Okay. Um, okay. So you're going to cut out and get your segments. So we said the segment would be complete understanding of mathematics content. So you would get this and you would segment that out. And you would paste that. Let's just go ahead and do this. Paste that into a Word document. Sorry. Okay. So there we go. That's our segment. Okay. And then what you're going to do from that is you're going to create a topic. So let's say, okay. Okay, so your topic is going to go in parentheses at the end of your segment. So the topic that we're giving this, and you create it for yourself. Okay, so we're just doing the first one as an example. So we would say, okay, this is about understanding math, right? So there we go. We have it in parentheses. That's our topic. Now, now let's say you want to create, and you've done a few of these, and you see some categories that need to be identified. So you would say, okay, this is going to go under the category of content knowledge. Okay, so that would be your category. And then you can have several different segments with the topics in parentheses after them listed underneath these categories. And for this assignment, you're going to need at least 6 separate categories. So your information will be divided up, and then you're going to place them into different categories. So you need 6 to 7 for this assignment. So what I would do first is I would read through all the material, all of this, and I would go ahead and pull out your segments. Okay, so like important pieces of information, like what would you bold on this sentence? Okay, pull that out first, and then just paste that into a Word document. Once you've done that, then you're going to go ahead and you're going to do parentheses and put what topic would identify this segment. Okay. So then you would go ahead and parentheses all of them. All of your segments need to have parentheses with whatever the topic is, whatever that segment is about. Once you've completed that, then what you need to do is you're going to go ahead and create 6 to 7 categories that all of these segments with their topics after them can be grouped into. Okay. So all you're essentially doing is you're grouping all this data and this is data. It's just word form. It's not numerical form like quantitative data. Okay. And so then you're able to oh my heavens, analyze it. Okay. There we go. So that way you can go in and you can see what it is that you can glean or learn from the research that you just did. And then you can go, and then from this, you'll be able to write. Okay. So this is a really neat assignment. It's not meant to be difficult. So hopefully this kind of gives you a visual of what it is that you need to have. And that's all it needs to be. So like here, I can tell that that's your category. And then if you wanted to like bullet that, that's fine. It's not going to be complete sentences. It really doesn't need to adhere to any APA formatting except for whatever you already have set up. And then just go ahead and do that for this assignment. Okay, so if y'all have any questions about this, I enjoy doing stuff like this. It helps me to be able to get like a mental picture of what it is that the data is. And so that way you can kind of wrap your brain around what it is that you're learning from it. Okay. And then you can go and do your research from that or write your research report. So that was 7.3 qualitative data collection. Now you're going to get to do another great assignment. I think you'll enjoy this one. You're going to actually conduct an interview and then you're going to code that interview. So it needs to, you need to create a short protocol. Okay. You're going to have an interview protocol and you're going to learn about this in your readings this week. Okay. And you're going to create 3 open-ended questions regarding your topic. Okay. You're going to pretend that you're going to be doing a qualitative interview and or a research study, sorry. So you're going to design your questions knowing that you're trying to get, you know, at least a couple sentence response from each question. You don't want yes or no responses. They need to be a few sentences that they should be able to give you based off the question that you create. Then you're going to conduct the interview. Now, the person cannot be a minor, and it is important that you record this. You can either do an audio or just do a video recording of the interview, and then make sure that you get the consent of the person before you conduct the interview to be able to record it. Okay. So let them know the purpose and why it is that you're interviewing them. Um, you can do it in person or over the phone, Skype, or something of that nature. That's fine, but not a written one. Not just email them and have them email you back. It can't be like that, because then you're going to transcribe the interview and you're going to type it into a Word document, and then you're going to code the transcript. Okay. So I recommend that you use the highlighting function on your word processor and highlight in different colors, and use brackets and other methods that you learn from your reading. Okay. You're going to then narrow your codes into 1 to 3 major themes, and then you're going to submit your interview protocol, your transcribed interview, your coding, and your major themes as one document. At the end, go ahead and list your themes that you've learned from the interview so that they can be easily seen. So I can see this real quick at a glance. Does that make sense? So you'll get 5 points for showing me your protocol and the 3 questions. You'll get 5 points for the transcription of the interview, 5 points for coding it using the highlighting feature or bracketing something. Okay. And then 1 to 3 themes are also identified. So for a total of 30 points, 10 points for completing it for this assignment. So I think you'll enjoy doing that. Okay. Then you have your reflection, your quiz, your weekly notes to go there. So if y'all have any questions about this week's assignments, please let me know. I think you're going to enjoy doing these, practicing doing some qualitative analysis, data analysis this week. And as always, you can text, email, message, bubble me, and I'm here to help. Y'all have a great week. God bless. Bye bye.